Okay. All right. So, yesterday we started with the overview. Just let us rewind before, by the time, meanwhile, or other students will join. We just started the session yesterday. We went through the different components. It's a three-tier architecture. We have a client tier, we have a application tier. On the application tier, we have the, we have the, we have the web tier. We have the concurrent processing server. We have the form server, and we have a database. It's a typical three-tier architecture. What we have seen, we have two interfaces. One is an HTML interface, and one is an forms interface. So forms interface is there from the traditional. Mostly the end users will use like a general ledger user just to feed the daily journals. They just go to the login page, and they start entering the data. So we have just covered the basic fundamentals yesterday. And also we did a couple of things like how I showed you how to do the installation of OEL 7.9. And also I shared the staging, how to do the staging. One extra piece was that that there is one extra patch, because we cannot use we can use the same files, but on top of the start CD we need to apply a patch, which we have done. And today I'll be showing you. Today we'll continue with some of the theory topics. Every day it will be like this. We'll be covering some theory topics, and then few practicals, so that it becomes more and more interesting, right? So these are the things what we are covering. We will just move forward today. The agenda is we'll cover a few more theory topics about how the installation and all, and we'll do a installation of a single node installation, how to do that, right? So that's pretty much what I have what I have for today. So let's see how it let's see how it goes. All right. So before you install, so you need to identify the operating system and other software resources requirements, explain the database and application tier sizing requirements, describe the key features of rapid install, list the e-business technology stack components installed by rapid install. So describe the preparatory steps for running rapid install. So we need to cover this topic before we can continue the installation. So as we discussed, just like universal installer, we have something called rapid install, by which we can do the complete installation from end to end. So the beauty of this tool is it will install the database, it will install the application, it will install the WebLogic server, everything it will install in one attempt. It will install all the components also. We don't need to separate it. Like yesterday I told, right? Like suppose it's a financials, Oracle CRM. There is nothing like Oracle Financials. There is nothing like Oracle CRM. Everything is installed for you. Everything is installed for you. Later on, if you want to license some products, you can do you can do the licensing later on. It automates most of the steps required to install Oracle e-business. It is the same software can be used for single node and also for two node. This week we'll see single node. Next week we'll do the two node installation. So it minimizes the installation time, allows you to select languages and corresponding character set, eliminates the possibility of the character certification issues. So when you do a basic installation, so you have something called database, and also you have file system and technology stack components. And from 12.2, we know that there is a dual file system. So one is a run file system and one is a patch file system. So we also have Oracle e-business application node technology stack, which includes the Oracle application server 10G. So Oracle application server 10G is nothing but your forms and reports, and also Fusion middleware. Oracle Fusion middleware means it's your WebLogic server, right? So it's the WebLogic server. So these two components also, your rapid install will do the installation. So what are the different technology stack components? So basically we have three homes here. So everybody has to understand that we have three homes, three homes. So one is the one is the database, which could be either 12C or it could be 19C. Any organization you go, there is a 3 homes you need to remember. Why I am stressing the 3 homes is because when you may have to apply the CPU patches, or sometimes you may have to apply a patch for an application server, or sometimes you may have to apply the patch on a WebLogic server. So that's the reason why you need to understand that there are 3 homes, and if they tell you to apply a particular patch on 10.1.2, you need to run the corresponding environment file. So if at all they tell you to apply the patch on database, you need to run the database environment file and apply the patch. So that is the reason why we need to understand that we have totally 3 homes here. Yeah. So application technology stack is still very old one. Still it comes with your 806 Oracle Home and IIS Oracle Home. Yeah, and you also have something called Apple Top. Like Apple Top is all the products. We also have a common top, right? In 12, there is a few differences between 12.1 and 12.2. So in 12.2, we have something called a dual file system. So we have a run file system and a patch file system. So there is one difference between earlier in 12.1, we didn't had like a dual file system. We didn't have something like a run file system or patch file system. We had only one thing, only one. So that's the reason why we had a lot of downtime. But when we came to 12.2, so we have 2 file systems. So run file system and patch file system. So run file system will be used for the end users, while the patch file system can be used for patching purposes. And the downtime is only when you do an activity called cutover. When you do an activity called cutover, that is only the downtime you need. So you can go on, apply hundreds and thousands of patches, and then you can take a small cutover of like 30 minutes. And you can just take a 30 minutes cutover and just do the cutover. So during the time, run file system will become patch file system, and patch file system will become run file system. So we'll be discussing more on it. I'm just giving you at a high level. So your web and forms services are provided by Oracle Application Server. So and Oracle Fusion Middleware, they are no longer services. Okay, so that's okay. Right. So new versions of database tier. So we had Oracle Database 11G. Now we have actually 12C. The minimum version what you get is 12.102. And earlier we had OC4J. Now we are moved to WebLogic Server 10.3.6. Earlier we had Apache 1.3. Now we have 2.2. These are the main differences between like 12.1 and 12.2. Okay, so you know what? So there were different application servers. So we all know that we all came from a very old background. So I think we had 11.2.10 was very old version, like 10 years before. Then they released like R12. So, and the greatest version of R12 is R12.1.3. There are still a lot of customers in 12.1.3. And then after that, they started with 12.2, like 5-6 years before. 5-6 years before, they started with 2005, 2004, I still remember. They start with 12.2. Initially, we had a very tough time understanding this 12.2. A lot of issues were there. But slowly, luckily, we had like 10-15 clients and we learned, and also the system became very stable. So now I have some customers on 12.2.10. There is no customer with 12.2. So it is just a base installation comes with the 12.2, but there is no customer with 12.2. After 12.2, they would be in 12.25 or 12.29 or 12.210. But the latest version is 12.2.12. So that is what is the latest version. And yesterday, I think one of the student told that it may go up to 2030. Earlier, we were known that it goes only the support will be there for 2030, because Oracle is more more marketing their ERP than this Oracle e-business. But I think yesterday somebody was telling it went to 34 or 35, right? So which is a good news for the e-business. So there are different platforms which are supported. So we are going with Linux, but there are some customers with Solaris. There are some customers with AX, HP UX, and Microsoft. But guess what? If you are comfortable with Linux, it should be enough, because I know it should be enough. It is the same how you handle Oracle Solaris also. That's a Unix platform. This is a Linux platform. But at least 80 to 90% of the world are on Linux only. Very less customer are there on the other platforms, and I hardly find any customers on Windows. And before you can do any installation, you have to follow the corresponding installation note. Suppose I'm doing an Linux x86, I have to follow the support notes. So Oracle eBusiness is entirely dependent on support.oracle.com. For everything you have a support node. You need to follow the support node. There will be there like what are the packages required, what are the patches need to be applied. So if you are in Linux 7, what you need to do. If you are in Linux 8, what you need to do. So I'm just giving you highest emphasis that our support nodes is the it's what I can tell. It's a heart for Oracle eBusiness. Without support, we cannot do anything. So anything in your company, in your organization, they tell you, okay, hey, can you do an upgrade? So then you need to find the corresponding, you need to find the corresponding support node. So that way we are totally, and sometimes something doesn't work. So you need to know how to open an Oracle SR, and how you communicate. All the skills you need to learn. Sometimes you may have to open a severity level 1. Sometimes you have to open severity level number 2, and sometimes you may have to call. There is a server issue, then you cannot sleep. You just have to be on that particular issue. You may have to call the support people, and they are very lethargic people. So sometimes you are very lucky if you get a very good guy who can help you. Suppose you give severity 1, it goes, everybody will try to escape. Okay, he will just complete, he will just ask you log file, gig file, and after that each shift is completed. Then the next guy will come, he will take some time. So that all expertise. And normally what I do is, once I find a right person, then immediately I'll stop. I'll tell that, okay, we want to continue with you. So you can identify who is trying to prolong the issue, and who wants to really work. So that is all your skills you need to learn. How do you handle the support? I've been there, so I know how tough it is, because 99% is very difficult to find a right person. They only drag, and the more urgent you show, the more delay they do, because they don't want to take your headache. You have a severity 1, your production is down, and you just put pressure like anything, that thing. They will tell, okay, we are looking. They will not take the pressure. So they will be their own zone. Sometimes you may have to call. If you're not able to do, you call the manager. You escalate like anything. If you're not able to handle, then you tell your manager, and he will call, and you have to build and they need to know. They need to know the issue. And sometimes we are DBS also a little lethargic. What we do, if any issue, we open an SR and keep it, and you can solve the issue, but still you want to put Oracle support to handle it. So it's all how you handle it. But that is also a skill only, going with support. So we also need required packages. Suppose you are in Linux, you need certain packages what to be installed. Like yesterday, we have installed one package. After installing the yum utility, we installed, what was that? There was one package which we installed. So that has installed everything for you, right? After the yum configuration, we have installed, this Oracle eBusiness Server P12 install. So what exactly this is, it has installed everything for you. This is only possible in Oracle Enterprise Linux. This is not possible in Red Hat. In Red Hat, we have to install one by one. I have, there was one customer who moved from Oracle to AWS. So in AWS, there is nothing like Oracle Enterprise Linux, or it is there. But the customer was interested to go with Red Hat, because they have Red Hat. So then I have seen the pain that we need to install one package after another package. But okay, I also installed in my home, and it's a 1 year subscription what you get, and I tried that flavor also. So I was a bit lucky that I could even try that flavor, right? So the bottom line is you run this and it will apply all the packages. So it also differs from operating system to operating system. If you go with Oracle Solaris, there is different way how you install it. But in Linux it is like RPM minus UVH, or you can say AM install. If your system is running on internet, then you can use this yum install open mode. Like this is the package name, and if you are on internet, you can directly install. If the package is already there, then you can use RPM UVH. If the package is there, then you can give the package name. You can give if it is already you downloaded it, then you can install that package. You can install that. If you want to know about whether a package is installed or not, you can you can run this command. It basically shows you whether the package is applied or not. See, so it tells you that this package is applied, right? RPM minus Q querying. You're basically querying all the skills you need. All the skills you need to know for a better troubleshooting, right? Okay, CPU requirements. CPU requirements for running the Oracle e-business depends upon number of concurrent users. So how many in a middle-sized company will have 100 to 200 users. So number of concurrent manager processes and the types of jobs that they are running, load for activities other than e-business, size of the database, desired response time. Yes, CPU it's dependent upon all of this, right? Yeah, it is all depends upon number of concurrent users. I've seen where we have like okay, in my current organization, if you ask me in the cloud, how did we design? Because there it is standard 2.2. Standard 2.2 means 30 GB RAM. Like, so we have two application types. Yesterday, if you remember, I showed you that we had two applications. So we went with the standard 2.2, which came with 30 GB RAM and two OCPUs. Right. So, and we had two. We had two. But on the database side, we have given high configuration. If I am correct, we have given around 256 GB RAM, 256 GB RAM, and 16 OCPUs we are given, because it is like BOIOL. Bring your own license, because the customer had licensing for the Dell server. What they had, they had a Dell server, so they can run 16 OCPUs. So then what you can do, even in OCI also, in cloud infrastructure also, you can install a server and use the same OCPUs, right? So it depends upon so many factors, what they have mentioned: size of the database, load of. Sometimes there may be some other, apart from Oracle applications, there may be some other load on the database. Like some companies may have some server, some spreadsheet servers, and all sort of things which they run. So you can start initially with a small ratio, and eventually you can, if the load, you can run some AWR reports and see how is the load, and slowly you can increase the database, slowly you can increase the application. But you start with small ratio, and then you can eventually you can build the system. So even the memory requirements, the SGA, system global area, it all depends upon the Oracle database head, size of the system global area, number of concurrent users, other softwares on the machine, which is not recommended, but you need to consider, right? So the minimum amount of memory needed to run Oracle e-business 6 GB for the database tier and 10 GB. That's why I told 16 GB RAM. The minimum memory amount is Oracle e-business 6 GB for database and 10 GB in your home. But in a real time, it is not like that. Right? For you, you can use 16 GB, but in real time company, the place where I'm working, it is 256 GB RAM. It all depends upon the different activities. And what is the minimum disk space requirements for the application node? You need like 144 GB because there's a dual file system. So it is 64 GB plus 64 GB. Plus you may need some 80 GB must be kept free for the file system cloning. So this includes 10.1.2 Oracle Home, Fusion Middleware, Common Top. So for the database, for a fresh database, so there are two types of things what you can install. Yesterday I told you, right? One is a Vision database. So one is a Vision. Vision, yesterday I told you, it is like it is like for a fictitious company, for one particular company, the entire data is being stored. But in real time, we don't use that. We don't use that. So that is called Vision. Vision is only for some training sort of thing. But we use something called a fresh database. Fresh means it's like empty database. This is what we use. So it is empty. It is empty. So if at all you are going with fresh, you need you need like 90 GB. And if at all you are going with Vision, you need 200 GB. You need like 200 GB. So mostly you can go with fresh only. But if you're trying to do some upgrades, you can go with Vision. So now if you take 90 GB and if you take 144 GB, so you take 144 GB and you take like 90 GB, approximately 250 GB, right? So 250 GB, and there is also software. There is also software. So I think the best thing is 350 GB you may need, because the software, the staging, so everything will comes out around 100 GB. So if you can have three, see in my case, what is having is I have software on my host machine. I have software on my host machine. And in my guest machine, again, I don't need to do anything. So that's why yesterday I allocated only 300 GB. But I have my host machine. So where my software is there, what I can do, I can mount it here. I can just mount it here, the software, and I can use it. But for some of you, the host and the guest may be, the host and guest may be same. So in that case, you may need like 350 GB, or like even you can go with 400 GB to be in a safer side, right? So that's what I just wanted to tell you. So plus you need to consider for stage area. Yeah, stage area 48 GB. But yesterday, if you have seen 12.212, so around 69 GB something it was showing us. You also need to consider for e-business log and output files, temporary directories, updates and patches, and other files like backups. So online backups you may take. So these are all things you need to consider. So when you join in companies, mostly this all will be set. But if at all you are working for a new company, you have to set everything. The place where when I do a lift and shift, I have to consider everything. All of this I need to consider when I'm building the system. Right. So the sizing of various transactions depends upon Oracle application framework, forms, or batch programs, transaction workload, whether it is light, medium, or heavy. So transactions that require more memory, such as this, like for Oracle configurator. So this is just a general guidance what they are given, which you need to consider when you are doing a sizing. And here approximately they are given a sizing thing. So if at all you have 0 to 10, 0 to 10 is hardly anything. It's mostly a training organization. At least minimum you can expect 50 concurrent users. For a little much bigger organization, you may have 100 to 200. 400 to 800 is like massive. It's a very big organization. So he has given like approximately based on this, how much is the database memory, how many CPUs you need, what is the application memory what you need, and how many number of application tab for a machine CPU. So they are just given some benchmarking. So you can also start with this, and later on, eventually you can you can increase based on the performance. So performance is there means that's why when performance issue comes up, immediately you will run a AWS report and you will identify where is the issue. And if SGA is small, you need to increase the SGA size. So all that comes into a picture. So again, here also he has given a benchmarking. So if at all there are number of users are 100, how much is the memory required? And if the number of form sessions is like 200, so how much is the memory required? So they just given a general guidance, and each form process would require 40 MB of memory on the applications, on the application tag. So the memory requirement is given by the formula, how many number of users into 40 MB. So like that, so every slide, right, it has a explanation, and also at the bottom it has a notes, so you can always verify it for you. So how you do this installation? Installation, as you you have seen yesterday how am I building, but it's not say child's play. There is a lot of things preparation, because mine everything is set up, but you try to do it is a little complex. So yesterday I was telling you last year I joined one organization and they told me to install on Red Hat 8. They told they just told me to install 12.2, and that is my first assignment. And what 15 days happened, nothing was working. 10 times I was doing on 10 times I was doing on 8. Some error came and there is no solution nowhere. Nobody told me what how to resolve this. So then I told boss, we'll not go with 8, we'll go with 7.9. Then what they did, they installed 7.9. Then I installed successfully. Then later on, I identified that minimum version, Oracle E-Business version is 12.23. So what you have to do, you have to install on 7.9 and then upgrade it. Then you can move it to Oracle. You can move to Oracle Enterprise Linux 8. So that is the way how you have to do. You cannot directly install. If anybody is installed, let me know. I'll be very proud. But right now, what I understood is we'll be doing 7.9. We'll upgrade it. Then we'll move to Linux 8, because now most of the customers are 8. Because I think if I'm correct, by this year end, Linux 7 support is getting expired. So that's the reason why most of the customers are moving to 8. Almost all applications they're moving to 8. So we need to be ready for that. Okay. So during the installation, it will carry out prepare tasks, apply configuration values, whether you want to install Vision, whether you want to install fresh database. So what is your port numbers, what is your run file system, what is your patch file system, who is the owner, so where you want to install. So all that you will be, then you can start the rapid install. And then after that, there are some post install tasks what you do. So how does this installation work? There are, like, if I'm correct, there are some 8 steps which the complete installation do. What it does is, my idea, how I have seen is, first it installs the Oracle Home, then the database. So there is a cold backup in the staging, right? There is like a cold backup. So it will lose a RMAN and it will restore. It will restore from the cold backup. So now your database home is completed, database application is completed. Sorry, Oracle database is up. Then it will put the file system 1, file system 2, and it will do some sort of auto config and blah, 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 so many things. And finally, it gives you the complete installation. Totally 8 steps, and it all depends upon, sometimes it takes 4 hours, 5 hours. It all depends upon your hardware. For some people, it may take 14 hours. It all depends upon your memory, what you have in your laptop, whether you're using SSD. Nowadays, if at all you want to do much faster installation, better to go with SSD for a faster installation, right? So the rapid install basically, and enter it will install the technology stack, dual file system, configure the services and servers on the application tab, installs and configure the database, entire thing. So there is nothing like separate steps. So once you start the rapid install, all these things will be installed for you. Database, it goes actually reverse. Here he has given this order, but actually first because without installing a database, it cannot bring the application. So first it does this, then the application, then it does the configuration and gives you the system. So the simple installation, what we are doing is this one. This is nothing but a single node installation. So where we are installing the database server, the concurrent processing server, the web services, and the form services on the same machine. So this week we have to be comfortable by this. Next week we go with the advanced installation, right? But this week we need to complete this installation, right? So then you can take little advanced installation. So in this, seeing this, it is a 3 node. So this is a database server, 1 node, and web and forms are there in 1 node, and concurrent processing server is there in another node. So this is also application tag. This is also an application tag, and this is the database server. So seeing this, we can understand that it's a 3 node system. So why they separated web and forms with concurrent processing server is maybe the company has lot of report requirements. So the company has a lot of reporting requirements. So that's the reason why they would have, they are having a separate concurrent processing server. So let me see if any important points are there. In this type of installation, the database node is installed on one machine, correct? And the application node on another machine. This provides improved manageability, scalability, and performance. That is correct. So application tier processing can be distributed across multiple application nodes. It is also possible to add further application tier to scale the application tier, correct? Typically, the additional nodes will be located on their own machine to help. Typically, the additional nodes will be located in the own machine to help increase and flexibility. Okay. Oracle 12 only supports unified AppleTop. The AppleTop is no longer separated. Okay, this is fine. Right. So what I'm telling is, with my experience, so at least if you are, yesterday I told you like 80% of the worldwide customers are in this one. Like they have an application tag. So where they have web services, form services, and concurrent processing server, and they have a database. So at least 80% to 80-90% are you have taken care. But at the next one, you can ask me, hey Kishore, what is the next little complex one? So I can tell, like, you have 2 application tiers. So I know we have this guy, right? Kunwar is working on something like adding a iSupplier. He is having a tough time, right? You will have tough time when you add a node. You will face lot of different issues. But we need to get comfortable with this. So at least application tier 1, application tier 2, and we have one database server. So here we will be adding a node. So you will be learning a lot of things here when you are adding a node. So next thing is you need to be comfortable. So first is a single node 1. Then this is the second node. This is the second complex. Then 3, 2 application tiers. 2 application tiers, you will know how to add a node. All those things you will learn. Then if you want to ask me the next, so here compulsory, if you have 2 application tiers, then compulsory you have a load balancer. Compulsory, mandatory, you need a load balancer. So if you tell me next what is the complex, so next we can go for high availability for database also. So because here if one application tier goes, you have another application tier. The same way, so we can make it for even for database also, we can make it 2 application tiers. Okay, A1 and A2, and 2 database 2 database nodes. Okay, database D1 and D2, and your database is in the ASM. So this is little, I can tell you, this is the little more complex one. But if at all you are comfortable with this, then you covered most of the things. So here, if one node goes down, you have another node. Your one application tier goes down, you have another application tier. So that way you have the high availability for both the application and the database. So even if you cover this, even Exadata or Exa CS also you covered. because even when you're working on Exadata or Exacs, they have a similar environment, like a quarter rack. Quarter rack means just a 2-node. So this is the level. So eventually we'll be learning this in our course. We'll be learning this. We'll be learning this. And also we'll be learning this. Yeah. So yeah, by the end of the thing, we'll be learning all of these four different configurations. Right? Yeah, that's what I told. So sometimes you may have this application tag, web, forms, and concurrent processing server in one node, and rack, Oracle database rack. So it could be 1 node, 2 node, or any number of nodes you can have. So that is a little more complex installation. Right. So here he has given a small introduction of Oracle application clusters. So you may ask me a question: is rack important? So it's better you know this. That's all. So if you are like maybe a junior, like 4 years experience, so maybe you need to know only a single node or a 2-node. But if you are going like 8 years, 10 years, then you need to know rack also. So you slowly, there is no way you can escape, because there may be some customer who may be working on rack. So you need to get comfortable with rack also. So rack means you need to know about the ASM, grid infrastructure, disk groups, right? So as you grow, so the complex also, because the expectations will grow, and if the company is having high availability, and it's a good opportunity. No, it's a good opportunity also to work on this similar environment, because if you covered rack, then you are covering another area called Exadata, Exadb on the on-premises, and it's called Exacs in cloud. So they, you can, I have a customer where we are working on Exacs. So I hardly needed any training in order to do a transition to Exacs. But in my profile, I can put Exacs. Because I worked on Oracle Rack, Exacs also is same. Quarter rack is just a 2-node. So there is nothing like you do an extra thing. So if you work on 2-node rack, you can tell that I worked on Exadata. So if you put Exadata on your profile, it gives a lot of weightage for you. Means especially Exacs is much easier to handle, because there is nothing like storage configuration. You don't do. Everything is taken care by Oracle. Whereas if you work on Exadb on premises, so you also take care of the storage. So that is little complex, but yes. So yeah. So eventually, if you're little experienced, you may need to know this rack also. So this is for high availability. You will have multiple instances talking to the same database. That is what is rack, right? So Oracle application clusters utilizes 2 or more computers to create a powerful computing environment known as a cluster. Oracle Rack extends the capability of resource beyond their limits as individual components. A cluster provides increased performance for larger workloads and growing user population. In Oracle Rack environment, all active instances can concurrently execute transactions. I can just shade them. The database is only one. So the database is only one, but you have multiple nodes. So you get the advantage like failover. You get the advantage like load balancer. So those type of things what you get in the rack. So we will be covering this particular course, actions on a rapid install. So the beauty is you can while installation itself, we can do this rack also. But before you can do, your grid infrastructure should be ready, if at all you want to install rack directly. But I'll be covering, I just don't want to make it more complex now, but we'll be covering this one also. Right. But you need to know that during the installation also, we can set up, we can install on the rack directly. On the ASM, we can install directly. I'll be showing eventually, don't need to worry. Okay. So overview of preparation steps. So how do you prepare it? So first you create suitable login accounts like Oracle account, like application manager account. You prepare a stage area. Yesterday we covered the stage area. We obtain the installation software, right? We bring the software. So sometimes you may do everything with a single user. So what in my current installation, where a single node installation, I'm using a single user. Like Oracle is the user for both application and the database. Oracle is the user for both of my application and the database. But sometimes you may have to use multiple users. Like, for example, you're doing a 2-node installation, right? In most of the companies, they follow this pattern. So where in the database, you have an Oracle user. And on the application tire, on the application tire, we have something called APPL MGR, right? You have something called APPL MGR, right? Or some people will do differently. Like, they put APPL prod, APPL, APPL prod, APPL dev, right? Aura prod, Aura dev, Aura UAT, APPL prod, APPL test, APPL UAT. It all depends. Every every company has their own thing. No, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, so right, so that's the reason. So so for a single user installation, we'll be using single user Oracle user to complete. So then you may, if at all you're going a multi-node installation, you can go like this. So we are not covering Windows. We are not covering Windows. But if you're doing installation of Windows, then you need all of this. But absolutely zero. At least from past 10 years, I didn't find any customer with Windows. So then we prepare the stage area. Like yesterday we saw. So in earlier days, I still remember we used to use. I still remember way back in 2001, something like that. So there were like 25 CDs, not even DVD, 25 CDs. So we used to purchase this. We can purchase from Oracle store, like some $45 or something like that. And so we used to do installation. So we used to keep one CD. Then after the installation, we remove that first CD and put the second CD, third CD, fourth CD. I still remember those days, right? Then DVDs came, but now we prepare a stage area. We prepare a stage area. Stage area means in your hard disk itself. In the hard disk itself, you prepare a folder and you download all the software and you start the installation. So yes, so yeah, from that struggle we went 2001 to now. It's been like 22 years journey on this. But yeah, now it is more comfort for you. You just have to prepare the stage area and you'll have less issues. So you need the software. Yesterday I showed you everything is free. Also I told you, you can download all the software from edelivery.oracle.com. You need to download it and you can do the installation. So you need to download all of this. I already shared the screenshots. I'll be sharing the notes tomorrow so that you can do the single node installation. By this week, you have to complete the single node installation. If you compete with me, you will have, you also will grow along with me. Because this week I'll be covering single node. Next week I'll be covering multi-node. So you also do. You also do according to me. Eventually, you will also learn a lot of things. Okay. Right. So these are the software components what we need. So then how you do the staging? So you create a folder called stage 12.2, and there you you download all the softwares. So you 12.2 start, like yesterday I showed you, right, 27 files what we need. And apart from that, you need this WebLogic server, Fusion middleware. This is a little bit old one, but I shared the latest screen because now it is 11.1.9. So you download all the softwares, and we need to create a global inventory. This is yesterday I already showed you that we need to create a global inventory, mandatory, especially in Oracle applications 12.2 onwards. Now we need to, without inventory, nothing will work. And the inventory location is etc Aura install location. So this is the inventory location. So if you see yesterday, I showed you that cat etc Aura install location. So this is your installation where your inventory has been there. So then you, as yesterday you saw, you will build the stage. So you go to this start. There are 3 disks. You unzip them. Then you go to start CD disk 1 rapid viz and build the stage. Then it will ask you whether it is for Windows or whether it is for Linux or whether it's for Solaris. So then you enter which operating system you want to build the stage. Yeah, the second one is it will ask you this, create a stage area. So you wanted to create a new stage area. So you enter the first one. Then it gives you all these options which we saw yesterday. You select Linux 8 x86 64. Then yeah, then you get these options. So once you prepare the stage area, it creates like 4 folders for you, like text. Yesterday we did the staging, right? So let me show that. So yesterday we prepared the stage area. So stage file. So once you stage it, basically it creates 4 folders: tech patches, start CD, EBS install, and tech install media. So every folder will have further files. Like, here we have WebLogic server, we have OHS and database. So again, here you will find different set of files, which we do not know what are this. But yeah, by just seeing this, you can understand this is a database tag, this is a middle tag, something like that. Yeah. So once you prepare the staging, basically it builds that. So the structure, yeah. So here is given the, this is what the 4 folders will be created. Under each folder, there will be some directories created. You really don't need to do, but if you just want to, if you're a little bit curious, you can go and always see. Then there is one additional thing what we did. Yesterday we had an additional, a top-up, what we call a top-up patch. So which we downloaded and we applied on top of the current start CD. Right? And if at all you need to start the installation, you need to run this command called rapid viz command. So once you run the rapid viz command, so it will ask you so many questions, which I'm going to show live, right? Okay, when you run the rapid install, it will ask you all of this. So we can directly run, and I can show, I can go through all of these scripts one by one. Okay. 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 So we have 2. One is the host machine and one is our guest machine. Okay. One is our host machine and one is our guest machine. So one thing is you can download the software. You can copy the software from here and to the guest machine. But do we need to do that? No, we don't need to do that. So what you can do is we can do a sort of NFS mount point. Okay. So the software is available. Okay. The software is available here. So what you can do is you can go and say, etc exports. We are doing some sort of NFS mount point. Okay. So I'll just remove all the old things. Okay. Just you have to make the entry. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to make an entry. So where is your software? to which machine you are giving. So this is my guest machine. This is my guest machine. This is my in the host machine, which is the folder you want to share, and to whom. And RO means read only. RO means read only. So you do this, and then you say service NFS restart. Okay, so then you go to the guest machine. Okay, then you go to the guest machine and you create a folder. For example, you want to create a folder called software R12.2. You just want to mount it. So now how you mount it, because already the permissions are there. Now you have to say mount 192.168.1.5. What is 5? This is my IP address of this machine. Okay, so and what is the folder you want to what is the folder you want to use it? So this is the folder what I want it. So to which mount point I want to mount it to do this. So you're physically not copying anything, you're doing an NFS mount point. So most of you are most of you would have worked in most of the organizations, they do this. So now if you go to this particular folder, your entire software is available for you. See, so this one in my notes I would have covered service NFS. Yeah, so I have covered in my machine NFS setup. So maybe the directories may be a little bit different, but on the host machine, what you need to do, on the guest machine, what you need to do, I have already shared it. Yeah, right. So are you guys following? Because I'm just talking from almost 1 hour. Are you guys following?
If the host is Windows, if you are of the installation file in Windows, so you do an FS setup.
Yeah, so if it is Windows also, I shared some comments, but yeah, the second method is best option is to copy the files from Windows to Linux. But otherwise, Windows sharing to Linux. So I have covered this. You can try it. Suppose the software is there on the Windows machine, then you need to, then there are a couple of steps. What you do is do a sort of Samba sharing. I have provided it. You try your luck. This is called Samba server, Samba sharing. Very long back I did it. So there are a couple of steps what you need to do. You can do that one also. Right. All right. Okay. So let me go to my documentation. Yeah. So basically you run, now you are ready. Okay. So now what is okay. So on this guest machine, you are ready to do the installation, because now software is ready, everything is ready. So you are ready to do the installation, right? So we'll start the installation. Okay. So what I'll do is, so one of the software what you need is the VNC server. Okay, so you have to install that. So how do you do this? So there's a command called Tiger VNC server. Right. So you need to install this software. I already installed it, but I just wanted to show for you. So somewhere I'll put this. Okay, I'll put after this install yum install. I have that. So yeah, you can search for my VNC setup. So you have to install this Tiger VNC for the VNC server. So after doing this, what you can do, you can on the guest machine, you can run VNC server. So it basically, it will ask you for the password and all, but I already set up it. That's why it is showing. So now I will try to, I'll connect to that. So it is running on port to 23.2. Okay, so you just connect to that. Okay, so I am connected to my, so now this is the one. This is the guest machine. Okay, any queries now? Are you guys following? Apart from, Anyone is having anything, any queries?
As of now, nothing, sure.
Okay, okay. Okay, so now you are ready to do the installation. Are you guys excited?
Sir,
Yeah.
that port will be 22 only, or it will be different for VNC?
For the VNC, there's nothing like a see actually how I connected to 23:2. So see here it showed 2. That's why I'm connecting to 2. So if you run next time, right, it becomes 3.
Okay,
Or
so we have to define it, or automatically it happens?
automatically it takes 1, 2, 3. If you want your own thing, then you can do like this also. VNC server :5. So if at all you want 5, you can use like this also.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So now we are ready to do the installation. So then what I do, I go to my 12.2 software. And how to do the installation? I go to start CD, rapid, go to disk 1, rapid wizard. I go to bin folder, and there's a file called, there's a file called, okay. And also there is I just wanted to show you, there is something called rapid wizard version. Just like a universal installer has some version, this rapid vision also has a version, and it has been 12.2015 from past 10 years. Only that they are giving some extra patches, but you should not be older than this. If you are a little bit older than this, then you have to apply some more patches, and that becomes more complex. So minimum requirement is 12.2.0.15, right? Okay, so that's the this is the rapid install version. Just like universal installer is a version, MS Word as a version, Excel as a version. So this fellow also has one version. So now we are ready to do the single node installation. Single node installation. So I run this command called rapid wizard. So what it does for us, what it does is it installs this 12. It comes with a 12102 database. Even though my slides were showing 11G, but it comes with 12102 database. It comes with either a fresh database or a vision database. We are going with fresh database. It comes with WebLogic server and Oracle Process Monitor, Oracle HTTP server. It also comes with for the forms 10.1.2.3 developer version, and also Java plugin 1.6. So you have to install 12.2. There is nothing that you can go with 12.2.12. You have to go with this version, and then you can upgrade. If at all anybody has a better opinion on this, you can tell me. So I think someone was asking whether you can go directly to 19C. So someone has to do this. I am just thinking I am going by this flow, but can we install directly 19C? Yeah, if you find out something like that, you tell me. It will be helpful for me, and also it will be helpful for all of you. Right? Yeah. So these are the softwares what will be installed for you. This is the first screen. So the next screen, hey, are you doing installation? Are you upgrading? So we'll take a most simple one. We'll take the simple installation. Installation Oracle E-Business Release 12.2. Then this is just a support support sort of thing. And I don't if you have Oracle support, you need to enter the username and password. I don't want to take all that. So I just don't want to give any information. Right. So then this is the next screen. It will ask you the configuration. Create a new configuration. So for a fresh installation, you always go for a new configuration. But maybe if you are going with a 2-node installation, then you may have to go with the second option. But here we are going with the first option, create new installation, right? So we go with this option. Now ours is a dual file system, right? So we have a run file system, we have patch file system. It is asking me what is the ports what you want. So for example, I want, for example, I want 25, means my web port will be 8025, and my database port will be 1521 plus 25. So it will be 1545. So if you give 25, this has to be 26 only, not more, not less. It is just the next number what you need to give, right? So if you give 2025, your web port, your Apache port will be 80. Web listener port will be 8025. So see, if you see this, there are so many components which will be installed for you. So many components will be installed for you, right? So this is the run file system and this is the patch file system. So on the same machine, suppose you are trying to install another instance, you need to select a different port pool. Otherwise, it will conflict. There are some, in some organization they may maintain 2 or 3 instances also. So in that case, you have to give a different port pool, right? So here it will ask you whether you want to install Vision or whether you want to install Fresh. So I told you better to go with the Fresh because it takes a smaller database. So if at all you're going for training, I used to support some training institutes in Amirpet, Hyderabad. So they used to tell me, Kishore, can you install Vision for us, right? So I used to install Vision, and regularly I can I can connect from my home and I can do some maintenance work and all. So for them I used to do an installation of a Vision. But in our case, I don't want to do that. In our case, I just for our purpose, in a real time also, we'll be installing this Fresh database. So it has already picked up the host name from where? From your etc host file. It is automatically picked up the host name and also the domain name. Yesterday, if you've seen, we are given this, what is the host name and what is the domain name. This is the domain name, just like oracle.com, google.com. This is the domain name. And this is the machine name. This is the machine name. So this is the operating system. Automatically it picked up. It knows that I'm installing on Linux. It didn't pick up any other thing. It picked up Linux directly for you. So who is the owner? So in my case, I wanted to go both for application and databases Oracle user. Simple. Let us make our life very simple. We'll climb the ladder one by one. Okay. So we'll make it very simple installation. Try to understand. Then we can increase the complexity. Okay. So what is the group? What is the user? And where you want to store? D01 Oracle prod. We have already defined all of them. You should have the permissions. So we want to go with the file system. We don't want to go with rack initially. Very simple installation I want to do. I just changed it, and now I don't know what was the old one. Boy. Oh, okay. So this is database files, right? So it will be /D01 Oracle prod, and I think it is data. Okay, just want to see. Okay. Okay. So this is my prod is my SID. Prod is my SID, right? So now database configuration is completed. Now it will ask you for licensing. So as I told you, for licensing, there is nothing like you enter a big 16-number code, nothing like that. There is something called suite licensing and there is something called component licensing. Suite licensing is like, you buy from Oracle from 2 or 3 products, then you can go with a suite licensing. But component licensing is like you buy only one item, one product you buy. Then you can go for a component licensing. We'll be discussing it. It's there in my theory and all. Right? So by default, if it is grayed out, means they're already taken care because you selected the suite licensing. Apart from that, if you have a license, see, as I told you, there is nothing like a licensing key or anything like that. Licensing is just an agreement between you and Oracle. So Oracle will tell you, as I told yesterday, I saw one of my clients has shared, they have a spreadsheet and they have like so many products, like, product 1, product 2, product 3, and also the pricing is there. So that's all. So they have to use only those products only. Suppose I need to go, you have bought the licensing for advanced pricing, then you have to select it. So it's like that. So that is the way how it is been done. So you cannot, like, if you don't have a licensing, you cannot select, because tomorrow Oracle may catch you, and in US, right, if somebody catches you for licensing, that's you will pay double penalty for that. Okay, so component licensing means it's like, most of them, like, you select a very specific product. What most of them are not grayed out, so you very specific one is a component, and suit licensing is like, couple of things. Okay, so it all depends, like whatever option you want to select based on your licensing things, you do this. Right, apart from that, if you want to install extra products, you can install it. Then next is a country specific functionality. So this is like, for example, you're doing a business in US, and also you're doing a business in Canada, right? So every country will have their own tax related sort of activities. If you're doing in French, if you're doing in India, we have a different types of tax. If you're in if you're in Canada, there's a different way. If you're in French, if you're in Europe, there's a different way. So if you are doing business in multiple places, then you may have to opt this region. But I'll just make it very simple. There is nothing country specific functionality. We'll discuss more on that. Then again, this, what is the language, what you want. If you're directly going with simple American English, you're only installing in US, you go with this. No, I'm doing for multiple customers, like for example Arabic, for example this one. So automatically the character set will also change. What is this character set and all, we'll discuss eventually, right? But we'll make it very simple. I will make it American English. US7 ASCII is the character set, database character set, and also the AppleTalk character set. Both the database and the application should have the same character set. Then now comes the application. Now comes the application. So application consists of basically web services, form services, concurrent processing server. So where you want to install and who is the owner. As I told you, I'll make a very, very simple installation, and the owner is only one guy. So owner is only one guy. So I enter Oracle. Oracle is the owner. Okay. So now you say next. So database is completed. The licensing is completed. Now application comes up. So now it will ask you for what is your WebLogic password, what you want. So you need to know what is the, I am giving admin 357, admin like 357, and this is the OS password, because your owner is Oracle, right? So what is the password of Oracle? So how do you change the password? So you say password Oracle, right? So now you change the password. I'm just adding 1 2 at the end of them. I'm adding 1 2 at the end of it. Okay. So it is the OS password. So the OS password is Oracle 12, Oracle 12. So that is what. You don't need to change the app's password default. Let us not change any of this. Let us just keep it like that. Okay. So that's all. You need to enter the WebLogic password. You need to keep the OS password. Okay. This is OS password. Now you go next. Now it will tell you, hey, hello, mister, you're installing database on this node name, application in this node name. Now what it does is, it does a complete validation. It does a complete validation, and it has to be successful. It has to be successful. Then you can start the installation. So now what we'll do, based on this knowledge, we will go through these screenshots. So it will ask you whether you want to go with a single installation or express installation. We haven't covered the express installation. I'll cover that. So it will ask you whether you want to do a, whether you want to do a fresh database or a vision database. I selected fresh database. Right. So then it will ask you for the licensing products, country specific functionality, character set. Which we selected. So then NLS language. So we have selected, US7 ASCII. American English as a base language, US 7 ASCII is the default characters, and America is the default territory. This is what we have selected. If you are going with Vision Demo database, right, then in order to set up multi-org, the default character set will be AL32 UTF-8. Right. So, this one, understanding these languages, it is very, I had an opportunity to work on a place where we had French language very long back, only one experience. So I had to select French, and the language was also French. So it's a good opportunity. So then when it comes to patching also, first we apply the American patch, and then we apply the French patch. It was a good opportunity. So after that, I never got that opportunity. I supported for some 3 countries. So if there are 3 countries, then first you apply the American patch, and then the next country patches. Very rare that type of requirement. But if you get, it's a good thing, because you understand all these character sets and all. Anybody worked on these multi languages in our batch?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Kishore worked.
Who?
And we usually apply the patches also.
Yeah. Who is this?
Yeah, Vivek, sir.
Yes, go.
Vivek.
I also
Ah.
long back.
Yeah. So yes. Right. I think Shaza, you also worked in Arabic.
Yes. Arabic.
Yeah. People in Gulf countries, they have Arabic. So they will apply English patch and then Arabic patch. So the character set also will be AL32 UTF-8 for that. So then you mount points, directory points, port pool, user accounts. This is all in things what we have selected. Then it will validate. So in case some problem happens, you can do this, but I prefer don't do this. Again, if something happens, you delete everything, again start. They're telling that if something happens, you can again run this app and restart, but preferable, let it go in one shot. So what it does is it basically creates a configuration file at 2 or 3 locations. In 12.2, the configuration file is called config.sid.txt, used to store the information collected by rapid install for all database and application tab. It is stored in 3 locations. Okay, it is stored in 3 locations. So I will just show you. This location, I will just go through and see this configuration file. This is important when we do a multi-node installation.
Yes, sir, this is very important.
Yeah. So it is telling where it is. Oracle home. Oracle home is this one, perhaps. Yeah. So here you will have the configuration file. So this configuration file basically will have all the information like, hey, what are you doing on database node? What are the things you are installing? See, this is the server 1 information where you are basically installing database. So see, database is equal to yes. Are you installing admin node, forms node, concurrence node, web node? No. So this is server 1 information. Again, if you go little down on the same machine, you are not installing database because you already installed database here. So now you are installing admin, forms, concurrent web. So this is very important file, especially when you're doing a multi-node installation, because it has so much tons and tons of information, port numbers, who is the owner, this file is required when you go with a when you go with a 2-node installation. Okay. So then you have a log files. If any issues are there, you can always go through these log files to see what has happened. So there is also a help everywhere you go. You have a help also. So nothing to panic. Like you don't understand something, so then you can you can go for a help. Yeah. So that's one thing what I want to show that. Yeah, so in some places you will have help button which can help you. So then you continue with the installation. You perform the installation. So performing an installation. So what are the steps? You can either install a standard or an express. Express we'll discuss later on, but today we'll discuss about standard installation. So again, one more time we'll visit all this because we need to go through these notes. So basically it's around 23 steps. 22 steps are there. So we'll go with the screenshots also. In this document, we'll go with the screenshots also. So once you run the Rapid Wizard, like what you have seen, you will get this screenshot. Okay, you'll get it, except that the database what you're getting is a 12102. Okay, you're seeing this first screen. Next, what you do, you wanted to install simple Oracle e-business. If you want to install Express, you select this, but we wanted to do Oracle e-business suite, so you select the first option. If you want to do an upgrade, you select this, but we are not doing an upgrade now, right? We are doing a simple installation. Then this is like if you want to enter your email address, this is the support user ID and the password. If you want to have some support, a proactive problem avoidance, so in that case you can enter the support username password, but mostly we don't enter. Right? If you enter, then this is the screen where you need to enter that. So then if you are doing a fresh installation, you go with the first option. But if you are doing a 2-node installation, that configuration file is there, right? So that configuration file you will load. It is only applicable in 2-node. So today we are not discussing about 2-node. Right. So then we are going with a dual file system, right? We are going with a dual file system. So what is the run file system port pool? What is the file system port pool? So if you select 0, the web port will be 8000 and database port will be 1521. At least these two we need it. These two we need it. Okay. So yeah, so there are so many port numbers. You don't need to remember all of them. Right. So then it will ask you whether you want to install a fresh database or whether you want to install a Vision database. So we have selected fresh database. You selected a fresh database. If you select fresh database, you'll get US7 ASCII. If you select a Vision demo database, you'll get AL32 UTF-8. But in the fresh database also, you can change the character set. It depends upon your requirement. Right. So you select the fresh database, Vision database. We have gone through all the screenshots. If it is rack, optional. If it is already if you already installed rack grid infrastructure, then you can select this rack. But currently we are not working on this, so we will discuss later. Right. So then you select this licensing type. So yeah, so suite licensing and component licensing. Okay, let us just read. It's been a while I read also. So when installing a fresh database, the wizard prompts you to indicate the licensing agreement you have purchased from Oracle. So what happens is a customer will purchase licensing from Oracle. Oracle will send a mail. Hey, hello, dear customer, you can use these are the products what you can use. So it then presents the appropriate licensing screen where you can register your product. So you get a screenshot and you select what are the products. You just refer your email ID, your email, and you see that I am authorized to this product. So I select those. So rapid install, of course, irrespective of that, it will install all the products for you. It installs everything for you. But whatever you ticked, right? So whatever you ticked, those are licensed one, right? So rapid install installs all the products, including the shared and dependent products, regardless of your license status. Licensing is just a tick mark, and in one of the table, if I'm correct, it will say that hey, you're authorized to this particular product. But however, just remember that all products will be installed. So you can register those products either by suite licensing or component licensing. Yeah, this point is very important for us. It automatically installs and registers shared and dependent products for you. Right? Okay, so let us again discuss this. It's been a while I read this. The suite licensing allows wide access to Oracle e-business product. That is correct. Suppose some customers are there where they are purchasing like 4 or 5, like Oracle CRM, Oracle Financials. Then they preferable go with Oracle licensing. So when you choose this, Rapid Install will automatically register all the products that are included in the Oracle e-business price bundle. Those that are checked in grade are then licensed automatically at part of installation, which are grayed out, are automatically licensed. They are not part of the price bundle. If you have licensed any other products want to register, apart from that, you have registered anything. Like for example, I purchased advanced pricing. Then you click that. You check that. Okay, so that is what is about licensing products. So apart from that, hey, after a few years, I want to license some product, So then you can go to this Oracle Application Manager and you can use the license manager and everything will come. See, when you are getting trained, you think that, hey, whether I get this opportunity to work, but eventually down the line, some or other place you get this. Recently I got this, they wanted to license one of the products. So then we have to go to Oracle Application Manager, go to the license manager and license that particular product. Okay, now let us understand. I discussed about this country-specific functionality. I was telling you that labor rules, human resources. So every country will have their own, human resources required, additional like Canadian labor laws, codes, right? So if at all you're doing a business only in one country, then it's okay. You don't need to select any region. But suppose, for example, some systems require country-specific functionality of a localized Oracle e-business suite. Like in India, we have a GST, something like a GST. Similarly, Canada, for example, Canada may have their own, own Canadian label laws and codes. So if at all during the installation itself, if you want that, then you select that particular country, right? So then I selected, I told you that if you, if you're supporting 2 countries, then you have to select that particular language also, right? But if at all you are supporting, Arabic or something like that, then automatically it becomes like UTF-8. If you're supporting 2 or 3 languages, automatically it will not be US7 ASCII, but it will become UTF-8. And you need to be very clear about this particular thing at the beginning of the installation itself, because to changing a character set, it's not a child's play. After the installation, if you want to change the character set, it takes hectic time for you, right? Then you configure the application node. Here there is nothing. It is simple thing. Okay, so let us just understand this one also. So what are the services which will be installed in the application tab? As I told you, at the high level is web services, form services, and concurrent posting server. But we need to be go a little deep on this. You have something called root service, web admission service, web entry point services, web application services, batch processing, and other. Batch processing is nothing but concurrent posting services. And all this will come under web and forms, if I'm correct. Yeah, web and forms. Right. So the services are divided into following service groups. So let me understand also this. The application node services define set of process that will be started on each application node, and consequently the functions the node will perform. A particular application node role is not defined by files. Instead, the role is determined by the services. Yes. In other words, there is no concept like a forms node or a web node and so on. As there is no association between the installation files and the services, that the node role is defined by the activated services, right? The services are divided into root, web entry point services, web application services, batch processing services, and other services. Web admission services are enabled on the primary node by default, and you cannot disable them. So on the primary node, there is a web admin services are installed. Web admission services is enabled only on the primary node, and this is where the admin server will reside, right? So this is makes sense for us, and this is for example, I'm taking, because I told you that The next complex will be to handle 2 application tiers. Okay, so when you have 2 application tiers, right? When you have 2 application tiers and 1 database, okay, so in that case, the WebLogic server, administration server, the admin server will be only on the primary machine, only on the primary machine. The administration server will be only on the primary machine, but not on the secondary machines. That one we just have to understand. That's what is trying to tell. What is this administration server and all we'll be seeing later on once the installation is completed. Oh, I kept all of this. I shouldn't have saved this. To delete that. Okay, but let us go a little deep on this. This is the screenshot what I was looking. Okay, root service is nothing but the node manager. Web administration is nothing but the WebLogic admin server. Web entry point services means HTTP server and the Oracle processor manager. And web application services means OA core, OA FM, OAE, forms, and form C4W. And batch processing server means concurrent manager, TNS listener, fulfillment manager. Other services are like form services and Oracle MWA. Oh, this is really good, right? So when you're going with the web and forms in a particular machine, it means that you are installing internally, means this is at a high level. Web and forms means root services installed for you, web entry point services installed for you, web application services installed for you. And if you're going for concurrent processing server, then the batch processing services are installed for you. It means that when it installs batch processing services, it installs this Oracle TNS listener, concurrent manager, fulfillment server, and Oracle ISM. Right? So this is like going little deep of this, but if you just understand web and forms will install all of them, and concurrent, if you're installing concurrent per server, this will be installed for you. If you know that, that should be enough for you. Right. Okay. So services groups and services in release 12.2. In 12.2, we know that that this WebLogic services was WebLogic server was it came into picture, right? So the following are the changes in service groups and services in 12.2. We have something called Web Administration Service Group. So this was introduced in 12.2. It contains services for WebLogic administration server, can be enabled only on the application tier nodes. We also have root service group, now comprises of node manager and not the OPMN. In an older version, in 12.1.3, we had this OPMN, but now the root services group will have this node manager. We also have something called web entry point services service group. OPMN is now part of the service group and only manages the HTTP server. So these are
I have a question here. So what is the key difference between the OPMN and the WebLogic, and what made Oracle to go with the WebLogic?
Oh, WebLogic, Oracle has eventually understood that, hey, instead of going with Oracle application server, OPMN sort of thing, it is not that good. We don't have like especially clustering sort of things that which are there in Oracle application server. So Oracle has purchased this WebLogic and found it much better as compared to Oracle application server, and then they came to this WebLogic server. So especially if you see, after introducing this WebLogic, if you see all the middleware components, what are the different middleware components? For example, you take OAD, OAM, you take this transportation manager, you take this SOA. Everywhere you find this WebLogic only, because Oracle has understood the power of this WebLogic server. They purchased this WebLogic server. Oracle had their own application server, that was Oracle application server, which was very traditional, and they found that that was not that great. So then they introduced this WebLogic server from 12.2 because they purchased them and they put they are put in 12.2 onwards, and they are using almost all the middleware components. There are at least, if you at least 10 to 15 middleware softwares are there. So in all of them, they are using this WebLogic server only. So yeah, so that's the main thing why they came up with this WebLogic things.
Thank you.
Right. So globally, all the Fusion middleware products were moved to WebLogic. People who have worked in SOA, they know that, hey, WebLogic server we work. People who worked on OID OEM, they know that we are working WebLogic. Transportation manager, everywhere this WebLogic came into picture. Right, so this screen is okay. Review the node man information. Then what happens is, once you say next, right, it basically does a complete check. It checks for port availability, database pre-check, space availability, node checking, middle tier checking, host name checking. If everything is good, then only you need to continue the installation. If not, you need to stop and troubleshoot that issue. If there is any issue, everything should be tick, tick, tick. Then only you do the installation. After once you start it, that's it. The installation will continue. But if there is any errors are there, you need to resolve them. Like, you get this three icons. What you get? If you get a green signal, everything is fine. But explanation means the configuration requires a review. X means you have to fix it. You cannot go with installation. And I bet anybody who's doing the first installation, you will get one or other issues. If you're an experienced guy, you would have taken everything. But first time, if you're doing, you will get one or other issue, and you become an experienced installation guy only by clearing this type of issues. You know the issue and you fix it, and then you continue with the installation. So, my core strength is this one only, installation, configuration, because I did on multiple products. And in my document also, if you've seen my installation document also, I have a troubleshooting session. Means eventually I told you it has been done from 10 years. So whatever issue I face, I just put it, so you may face this type of issues. So from some website, I would have copied and I would have kept it. See, for example, you would have faced this database pre-checks. If there may be some permissions with the inventory. So it's a very good thing. You document the problem and the issue. Problem, issue. And one thing I learned in the database world is, if an issue comes once, it will repeat again. You need to resolve, and also you need to put at one place where you can reach a faster, at a faster pace. Instead of some people when in the in a book there is something like a contents, right? If you click this content, it goes there. So same way, if you see, when I would do this content management, like if you want to go with installation, you click this. So how well you organize, I'm not a big organized guy, but eventually I had to learn this. Eventually I had to learn this because I want to live a less stressful life. So that's the reason why I learned this documentation with experience. So for everything you document it. One is installation steps with all the screenshots, and then problem issues. In Oracle, there is nothing like a moonwalking sort of environment. Everything is issues, and you are the person who are going to fix it. If everything is smooth, then the company didn't need. They don't need your services, right? If because there are problems are there, that's why they are hiring you, right? So basically, it checks for all of them. It checks for all of this. All of this it checks. And if there are no problems, then you can continue with the installation. So once you start the installation, it's, if I'm correct, it's around 8 steps. Oh God. It is like 8 steps if I'm correct. Yeah. Right. Steps 2 of 8. So as I told you, it installs database home, database files. It has a cold backup. It puts the code backup, then it runs the auto config, then application 1, application 2, then run auto config, and it brings up the system. Right? So I don't cover this restart installation. If any errors are there, you delete everything and you start the fresh installation. I don't recommend this. If there's a power issues, no. So once the installation is completed, if everything goes well, you get this screenshot. That database is up, database availability is up, environment file, all of these are tick. If there is everything, there is no problem, Then you get the screenshot. So it takes like 8 hours for us to complete this installation. So I don't want to show all of them. So you go to this screenshot, you go to this screenshot and you say next and you continue with installation. The installation will be completed. And I completed it for you because I don't want to show 8 hours. I cannot make you stay here. So that's the reason what I did in another in one, VNC server 1. I today morning I started the installation and I wanted to show the success one. So it got successfully installed, right? So this is what everything. So if you see the screen, it means that the installation is completed successfully. I before the end of the day, I wanted to show you single node installation is completed or not. So by default, it will start also. It will start also. See, it completed the database part, Appletop, first file system, second file system, FS1, FS2, right? So by default, what happens is the database and application will be up for you. Yeah, the prod database. So D01 Oracle prod. So what I do normally is, so if you see September 9th, today morning only I did this installation. So there is an environment file. Okay, so there is an environment. What I do is I just normally copy to the home folder and I go to the home folder and I just want to show what is the database version. Yeah, database version is 12.2. And you can connect as app APC user. So we will select the FND, a release name. Forgot release name from FND product groups. Huh? Anybody knows this table? I also, it's been a while I did it.
FND product installation.
Okay, let me select this. Okay, I just maintain something like a daily activities. So yeah, FND products. Right. So it means that 12.2 is installed. So this is the database information. Okay. So let it be like this. So what I'll do, I'll make a duplicate copy and I'll show the application. Okay. So again, my application owner also is Oracle. So you go to D01 Oracle, go to this prod. I have FS1. So this is the database home. This is the data. Oracle home, data. FS1 is the run file system, patch file system. This is the inventory, and this is the log location, FSNE. We'll be learning on this. So I go to this FS1. Since this is the base release, once you upgrade it, you have a better environment file. But since it's a base release, you have to use this apps prod. Okay, so now what I do, once you run this environment file, so this is your application. So how do you find the URL of this? You can run this command. Right. So okay, so this is what. So now when you try to access, right, you cannot, because it may say page not found, because I don't have entry in my host name, right? So what I do, I go to my Windows machine, Windows system 32 drivers, etc hosts file, and open in a notepad. Okay, and make an entry, make an entry for that. Okay, I think this is the one. 23. Yeah. Okay, now let us try. If you are able to access see, automatically it came. So because I made an entry and it is 8010, you know, this is a base 12.2. So people, so you're almost like now 10 years old, because I think somewhere 10 years ago, that 12.2 was introduced. So there is nothing difference between 12.13 and 12.2 base release. So you will find the same interface. But eventually, within past 10 years, you know, they have gone up to 12.212, and the look and feel also has changed. But here you see that it is a normal, you know, normal thing, right? Yeah, that's pretty much what we, yeah.
Sir, forms and report are same. 12.13 and 12.2.
Yeah. Forms and yes. Yeah. Right. So let me see. I'll be sharing this document for you so that you can do the installation. It will, for the people who already worked on this, only the changes. If you have the software, it is good. Otherwise, you need to download the software. I will provide the screenshots also. I changed. I updated the screenshots, and this document is up to date with all of them. And you know, let me see if at all anything is missing. Yeah, all the stage part I covered. Yeah. So there's all this semaphores and all we don't need to do because we are taken care. I provided the NFS steps and all these tips, and we did all the screenshots available. So all the screenshots are there for you. So no need to worry on this. Yeah, about the how to set up the VNC also I provided. So that you can things. Yeah, so this is the installation screenshots what we have gone through. So do the simple installation. The first time when I did, I was very excited. The documentation is there, and also problems, issues are there for you. Okay, so
Sir,
this is yeah.
Sir, I had a doubt. This thing when you're doing installation, we are creating Oracle account and doing the installation, or installing the VM and doing it,
I'm installing a VM.
or it depends.
Yeah. It all depends. Like, you know, in sometime they only have a physical machine and they will install it. But nowadays, most of the customers, it's a VM only. Like, you know, like yesterday I showed you, right? I have one physical machine which is running on 5.5. So this is my physical machine.
Yeah.
And actually, it for you as an end user, we really don't need to do whether it's a physical machine or a VM machine. See now, this is my VM. This is my virtual box, and I'm creating separate operating system. So in a real time, you don't do all this. So in most of the companies, there will be some the people who have worked on VMs. They will just give all of this, right? So you just
No, sir. For our practice, I'm asking like whether means how do we start? Like
yeah.
we should be installing
Yeah.
VM or Oracle account from there.
See, so it all depends upon your host machine. If your host machine is Windows machine, then what you have to do is you have to install Oracle VM, Oracle Virtual Machine for Windows. You have to install this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and in this you have to install a Linux. You have to download the ISO file. You have to download the ISO file and create a VM of it, because on the Windows machine you create a VM for Linux and you follow the steps. In my case, in my case, my host is Linux. I'm creating a different VM. Same case, same way. Yours is Windows machine, so you also break into small. You create a Linux VM, and you follow the same procedure what you did.
Okay, and the other one which you were telling in the Oracle account, you create the account and create the VM, create that thing, ISO image that will be for database will be 12.2 and 12.2.8 for EBS. That one is different from this one.
Come again,
same
come again.
steps
No,
only.
no, come again. Tell me that. What are you telling?
That Oracle account which you were telling, no?
Ah,
In Oracle account
so
you create.
yeah. So for the people, right, who don't have this, I don't have a system. I don't have, I know I need a place where I can practice. You may not able to practice the installation, or you can still you can do that also. So maybe you can create a cloud account, Oracle you can go to cloud.oracle.com and create a 30 days free account. If you don't have, I can help you with this also. So what you can do, you can you can create a standard 2.2 with 15 with 15 GB RAM. Comes with the 15 GB RAM, and there is something called a marketplace. Now there is something called a marketplace. In the marketplace, there are readily available images. In that images, what you can do, you can select Oracle E-Business 12.28. Okay, it comes with the database 12102. So this one you can, from the marketplace, you can install this, and you can practice. No, if at all I want to, no, I don't want a readily available image. I want to do a fresh installation, means then we can, we can provision the compute instance. We can provide a compute instance. So then you need to go to support. You need to download the software and do all that stuff. So you tell me, like, what is the thing what you want to do?
I'll install the VM and then start with it. Then again, once I'm done, I'll start with the cloud account and try that also.
No, you have any
Both the
machine?
ways, yeah.
No. You have any machine where you can practice this?
Yeah, I have my laptop.
What is the configuration?
RAM is 32 GB.
Very good.
1 TB SSD.
Very good. Right. So then you have everything with your hand. So what you can do is directly you install Oracle Virtual Machine. You install Oracle Virtual Machine, and the first step what you do is you download the software. First you Linux, ISO, everything is there exactly in this documentation. You just have to install Oracle VM, and then you download the OEL version. So, and I'm using 7.9. You can also download the same. You just have to download the ISO file. Then what you do, you go to, so let me put up your steps. So maybe if I tell to you, everybody's also there, so that listen. Okay, so I'll tell you high level steps. So you have Windows machine, Windows 10 or whatever maybe, right? You have a Windows 10 machine, and for example, so you have a 32 GB RAM and you have a 1 TB hard disk, right? So the first step what you do is you install Oracle Virtual Machine for Windows. Because yours is a Windows machine, so you install exe file is there. I have given the link. This is the first step. Okay, so then you go to edelivery.oracle.com and you download the OEL 7.9 ISO file. Okay, so this is around 4.5 GB approximately. Then you go to edelivery.oracle.com. Okay, then you download the 12.2 software. Okay, 12.2 software. I given the links. I given the links like what has to be downloaded.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah, Kishore, sorry to interrupt. Here is S. Babu. Yeah, in upfront we are going to learn the rack, right? Rack also. Right? So this 32G is sufficient, or still we require more?
Yeah, when it comes to rack, 32 GB for a 2-node system should be enough. Should be enough. Enough. Yeah.
So in the way, because I'm asking, EBS also will run, right? So it's sufficient.
Yeah, 2-node rack with 1 application tier should be enough for you.
With guest machine with the 32G, right?
32G should be enough. Your SSD, right?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, then you can do this. Okay. So
Yeah,
yes, correct. So then what you do, yeah, I have given you that, you download the softwares. So you download the software, right? So you download the Oracle
Sir,
Images
this
software.
document,
I'll be sharing to
this
you.
document you will be sending,
I'll be sending to you.
like, yeah, okay.
I'll be sending the recording sessions and the document, up-to-date document I'll be sending you. So then you download it.
Okay.
Then the next step is, you follow the document and run the rapid viz, and you do the installation. So this one is in your laptop. Now this one is in your laptop where you can do from the scratch, right? So then if you have, then you can, I just, you just practice. Yeah, at least you start with this, because this itself will take a pretty good time for you. You will eventually learn a lot of things here, and always I'm there on the WhatsApp, and wherever you are stuck, you let me know so that I can help you out.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, so there were something, how to get SSO URL. SSO is not enabled. So after installation, we get non-SSO URL. Yes. So that is a Syed question. And Syed, one more Syed. What is the disk requirement for single node? So 300 GB should be enough. How much GB we need, including keeping 400 GB? Yeah, 100 GB you can use for software and 300 GB. So 400 GB you need. Right. Okay. Right. So yes. So in your case also, you can, because you need to do the staging, right? You cannot do the staging on the Windows machine. So you download the software, and what you do, you copy the software from using WinSCP from Windows machine to Linux machine. You copy the software and then you do a staging. So at least you have to allocate 400 GB for your Linux machine, right? So do this, and I will support every one of you, all of you, wherever you are stuck, I can help you out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, one more doubt I had regarding that OHS and OPMN. Is there any particular difference between them two? OPMN is just wrapper job on OHS, right? Or vice versa?
See,
how it is different?
No. Yeah. So we will be going through this. We have not yet covered that this one, but at a high level, OHS is like an HTTP server. Whereas OPMN has many components. More very important components like OA core. Very important is you would have seen most of the issues you will be getting in OA core only, right? So sometimes you bounce them also, right? You bounce them the OA core also, right? Okay. Okay. Since you told that, let me see if at all I'm able to access my admin port. That is the place where you can find all the components. How do you know the admin port? Yeah. So my admin port is on 7011. Okay. So how do you access this? So let me access this. So 7011, 11, 7011 and console. Right. So you enter the WebLogic. So this is the WebLogic interface. Yes. So WebLogic interface, and because the WebLogic, all the components are installed. So then you can go to the servers. So these are the things. So these are all the components of WebLogic server, where you are OAFM, OA core, form server, forms, C4F, all of these services are belongs to the WebLogic server. So mostly sometimes you would have seen that you will have some problems with OA core, and you will bounce the OA core. So in my document, I given some steps how to start. For example, you want to start OA core server 1. So individual components, sometimes you may have to just to bounce OA core. So you would have faced this. They would have told, hey, there is some problem with OA core. So how to stop and start? So this is way how you can just to start OA core. So there is a problem with OA core. You only stop OA core. So how do you stop? SH manage server stop OA core. So right. So if you want to start it, you start it. So like that I have given, like if you want to stop OA core, form server, OA FM forms. So individually sometimes you may have to stop, or suppose they say entire bounce. Suppose I haven't covered all of them, but right, how to do the entire bounce. You just go to admin scripts home, and there is a shad, shad stop all, to stop all the components, and you give the, for example, I want to stop today, my activity is completed, right? So I want to stop the activity. So I just stop all and give admin 357. So now my entire application will come down. So if you want to bounce the concurrent manager, there is something called ADCM CTL. So sometimes they tell you to complete bounce, and there is a problem with the concurrent manager. You have to only bounce the concurrent manager. Then you need to use ADCM CTL. Yeah. So how to this is the one. So it all depends upon the issue what you are facing. So, but we need to know how to stop that all the components, how to start all the components, or sometimes there is only problem with the OA core. You cannot stop and start everything. That unnecessarily 30 minutes. You waste your time, because bouncing will take at least 30 minutes. If the problem is with the OA core, then you only bounce the OA core either from the console or preferable from the back end. If the problem is with the concurrent manager, you only bounce the concurrent manager. Right. So once the application is down, then you also bring down your. So you have to wait for your application to come down. So we shut down the database. Then I just, because in my home I don't want to keep it system alive, right? So this is my shutdown process. I shut down the application, shut down the database, shut down the guest machine, then shut down my the host machine, because I'm done for this week. So again, next week will be apart from that, any questions you have, anyone?
Hi sir, actually for OA core, if we have issue, so is it possible that we run the OPM and bounce, means Apache and OA core together?
No. Only Apache OPM problem, OPM and only I'll bounce. If there's a problem with Apache, it has been changed from last 12.13 to this. If the problem is with Apache, then I only bounce OPMN stop all, OPMN start all. This will only bounce the OHS server only. OHS server. See, what I do normally is, I go to this, what is this? EBS domain home, and I go to the servers. If any issue comes up, so now when I go to this EBS domain home servers, I find everything. So if at all I want to find the problem, I do not know where is the problem. There is some problem. So mostly the problem will be the OA core only. Then I go to this OA core. Then I go to this logs, right? I go to these logs. Then I just tail the server output file, or the log file, and I find that there is some issue. There is some issue, maybe because the memory issue or some issue. You can find that you find some issue. Then you find that the problem is with the OA core. Then I bounce the OA core. That is the way how I troubleshoot. Most of the issues you find only on the application tag, then as compared to a database. So how do? You go to EBS domain home, and you go to servers, and here you find all the servers list. So then you go to, if the problem is with the admin server, you go to the admin server, you go to the logs, and you see what are the issues. You go to the log file and the output file. These two files is enough for you to do the troubleshooting.
Sir, if you have like in the office environment, you have 4 or 5 OA cores. Okay. So if you in 12.13 you have to go with OA core and stop. Okay. But here you are mentioning OA core, server 1, server 2, server 3, like this, or
yeah, exactly.
I will stop all 4.
No.
4 OA cores.
The main advantage of actually, that's a very good question. What Shahzad is asking, you can do a rollover bounce also, because why are you going with multiple OA core? Okay, this is little advanced only. At some places we can create multiple OA cores, right? So in that case, you can do a rollover, like one you can stop. Meanwhile, the other will be used by the users. So after that is bounced, then you can bounce the next OA core. So that one also you do, but you have to use this. Suppose you have like OA core server 1, if you want to stop and start from the back end, you have to give this OA core server 1. Then the second one would be OA core server 2. So if you want to start and stop, you just use this, but you use OA core server 2. So sometimes we do from the console, sometimes we do from the back end. So it all depends. It all depends upon the place where you're working, how you're working.
So, but normally when our OA core is hanging, it will hang all the process or 4 cores.
Yeah. So
Not
that's
1
what
and 2.
Yeah, I know that I face this similar situation. Even sometimes it happens that you get even a warning message. So we will try by this. Then if things doesn't work, we'll tell to the company, boss, we want to bounce the entire application. Actually, when you bounce the entire application, right, mostly the issues will be resolved. So, but we just want to save the time. We try to do individually. But if it doesn't work out, you try initially with a smaller thing. If it doesn't work, then you ask for a complete bounce.
So, sir, for the front end, how will you stop in the front end like this?
Yeah, you suppose I just want the OA core. What? Oh, I stop the services, right? Right. I just select it, and there's something called stop and start. I'll show you once it is up. But I will just select that particular OA core, and you go to the control and do a stop and start. We do in our organization like that also. So I'll show maybe in the next class. So once that is complete,
installation. After installation, that we get the login page, right? Means it is a non-SSO.
Yeah, by default it's non-SSO only. Non-SSO only.
How to get a SSO URL?
Yeah, you have to implement SSO. We have to implement. That is a OAD, Oracle Internet Directory, right? Those components.
Even in 12.1.3, we have both the SSO and non-SSO URLs. So that's why.
So it means that they have configured it already.
Okay.
Yeah. See, now I stopped my guest mission. Okay, then I go to the main mission, the primary mission, and from there I shut down it because I'm done for today. So I just close everything in it. Okay. So tomorrow what I do, I will be sharing the 2 recorded sessions and also the installation. This week you try to complete it, and you can always reachable me in the WhatsApp, or you can reachable through my email. Any other questions you have? Anyone? Okay. Okay, then if you don't have any questions, thanks for joining the session. Thanks for your time. We'll catch up next week with some more interesting topics. So, bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.